Hey, what's up? Welcome back to No Tracers. I am back with you guys. I've been gone on tour with my band, Chasing Satellites. We just did our first tour. Super excited. It was through the Midwest. Thanks for coming out if you came out. If you didn't come out, fuck you. I'm kidding. No, it's fine. We'll do more tours. I'm not pressed. But this week on the No Tracers podcast, I have a crane climber, rooftopper from the UK, Riptide Urbex. Super excited to have him on to share his story. Let's get into the show. Welcome back to No Tracers. If you've been wondering what goes on behind the closed doors of abandoned places, if you want to know the stories of the people who explore the rot and decay, well, this is the podcast you've been looking for. I'd like to welcome you to No Tracers. Hope everybody is doing well. Winter is wintering right now. It's snowing where I'm at currently. I hope you guys have gotten some exploring in over the past couple of weeks, months. During the winter, I know these are like the prime times to explore because, like, I don't know, less security around, less people around, but also it's fucking freezing and my fingers can only last and my toes can only last so long on these cold explorations. But I do love them. I love when it snows in an abandoned building, like when it's coming through the roof holes. There's nothing like it. It's so magical. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about crane climbing and roof-topping. Two things that I don't do enough of. I've climbed like one or two cranes ever. It's so I can't get past the mental part of like, I might die. But rooftops, I love a rooftop. They are very fun for me. But I do want to do more crane climbing just because it is so cool and the photos are always so sick. I'd love to do some nighttime shit in a city, but baby steps, you know what I'm saying? Baby steps. But not for my guest today. My guest today is RiptideUrbex's. He is from the UK, and he's been climbing for just over a year. And I'm very, very excited to have him on the show. He's got some crazy stories. He's very, he withholds any tips because he doesn't want, not that he doesn't want you to know tips for getting into like construction sites to climb cranes. He doesn't want the security teams to know that he knows how to do this. He doesn't want to give them the secrets of the climbing community because then it will make it harder for them to do what they do and then we won't get the cool photos that we get from them. So keep that in mind. But if you guys are into the show, please subscribe. No Tracers has been around since COVID times and going to keep it going long into the future. As long as people are still interested and people still want to come on and share their stories. If you want to come on and share your story, hit me up on Instagram, no.tracers. Also, if you have been following along on the YouTube channel, I've been posting my 4-part series of the abandoned Six Flags in New Orleans that I got to explore over the course of 2 days. I'm about to post up the final video, part 4, which is a POV photography tour video of the Six Flags. Very excited for that one. The other ones were more cinematic, and one of them was actually us lighting up the Ferris wheel at night. Such a cool video, such a cool experience that I got to have. So if you want to go check those out, they're on the YouTube channel. I'll be uploading some prints and things to the No Tracers website, as well as a blog post breaking down the Six Flags trip. So stay tuned for that stuff. But for now, thank you guys for supporting the show. There is merchandise and some photo books up on the website as well if you want to support in that way. Sorry, I'm also sick. I got home from tour. I'm dying, but it's cool. We're going to try to get through this one. So without further ado, Riptide Urbex, welcome to the No Tracers podcast. Please introduce yourself and how long you've been exploring to the No Tracers audience.
I'm Riptide Urbex. I've been exploring since last year, like July, August, around then. And yeah, I got into Urbex really quickly. Actually, it was kind of like an addiction.
So, like, what was your like jump into it? Like, first of all, like, what was your first like introduction to like this is a thing?
I mean, I think it's the same with everyone. Everyone starts off with bandos, right?
Yeah.
And then you see the crazy shit online, and you're like, "Damn, that looks cool." But before any of this, I was fucking terrified of heights, like deathly terrified. I was scared while walking over bridges because I thought wind was gonna blow me off. Like I was fucking terrified. I think the first thing I ever climbed was this tiny cell tower. But obviously the first thing I did was a bando. it was like the slaughterhouse. It was pretty sick, to be fair, but it it just opened my mind to all of this shit. I saw so much more stuff on social media, and I was like, damn, I've got to do all of that. But yeah, back to what I was saying. I started off with a small cell tower, and I think I made it up about a third of the way before I was shitting myself, and it kind of changed everything. And then yeah, I met a friend, and we both started. Well, she was fucking mental, to be fair. She didn't need any practice or anything. She was mental. We both basically climbed everything for the first time. I think she started climbing cell towers around the same time as me, but she just didn't give a fuck. Like, she wasn't worried about dying at all. And I think that's why, like, mentally, she does not care. She's unfortunately, she kind of quit back in September because she got cancer.
Oh,
but
shit.
Thankfully,
Dude, I would have been like, fuck it, let's go harder.
That's exactly right. When we went to London for the first time, I thought that Urbex was like completely illegal. I thought that I was going to go to prison for like 3 years if I got caught. But I was like, fuck it. She's come here to do some crazy shit. This is might be the last time I ever see her. So I was like, we'll do these sends, and we hit our first good rooftop. And it fucking, oh my god, it was so beautiful. I remember that we hit it for sunrise, and we had just gotten into a police chase like a few hours before then. And as I said, I thought I was going to jail for 3 years. So I'd run from 5 cars, and I was shitting myself. I think I was hyperventilating, man.
Well, it's interesting because you see these YouTubers that kind of made, rooftoping in London specifically, like, kind of on the map. You've got like Ali Law, who obviously doesn't do that shit anymore because he did get in so much fucking trouble for it, so it's like I think they just turned the heat on for a second, and then when they stepped away, I think it kind of died down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's not, Ali Law was just, I'm not gonna lie, Ali Law was my inspiration as a kid.
Sure.
I watched him with my dad, actually. He probably regrets showing me those videos now. And I thought that shit was awesome. I never thought I'd be doing it, but I think he's changed a lot of people's lives. But the clout really got to his fucking head.
For sure, bro.
Yeah, like
him and Ryan too. Like, they both just fucking clouted out, dude.
Yeah, I mean, how it works here in the UK, if you get caught too many times, then they'll like take you to court, but it's not illegal until you get caught a few times. Except, well, I mean, most sites aren't illegal. Some are. But basically, I've never personally been caught. I'm very careful. But Ali, he just didn't give a fuck. I mean, he'd hit sites midday, got caught a million times, and he was in court every weekend.
Yeah.
So eventually, like, they even took away his fucking passport, man.
That's crazy.
Like, so he couldn't go to other countries because he went to Dubai right after getting banned from trespass.
That's so wild. Yeah, it's like it was wild to watch as, like, obviously rise and then his descent into the court system, unfortunately. But I mean, yeah, if you don't give a fuck, it's gonna catch up with you. It's just easy as that, So for you, like, going from somebody that was afraid to walk across a bridge to doing roofs and cranes and all this other crazy shit that you're doing, like, what makes you keep going back?
Well, honestly, it gets boring if you don't push yourself the extra step. So I train really fucking hard to make sure I don't, die. So I'll do a lot of climbing stuff. I do muscle ups, pull ups, just anything body weight, and then I do normal gym stuff and cardio, obviously. But yeah, I guess just taking that next step. I mean, like climbing cranes when it's fucking raining, which you've probably seen some of my page. I wouldn't advise anyone to do that. To be fair, it's not my fault. Whenever I go on trips, it's always raining. Like, wherever I go, the weather just has to be horrible. I've been all over the UK, and it's just never good. But yeah, doing different stunts like hangs. I did a leg hang recently. I literally just posted that. And yeah, just taking it the next step is fun. I'm going to Germany in April, and I'm gonna finally climb something other than a crane.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Just new stuff. That's what Urbex is all about, exploring.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I think that's like the fundamental of what keeps us, what brings us like all together. Like, you know, the community is chaos, obviously, and there's, you know, drama and bullshit. But I think the thing that we all come back to is this love for exploration and this love for finding new things and trying new things and pushing ourselves, you know, like you were saying, like that's what keeps it exciting is that we can continue to push ourselves and our limits and, you know, push past where other people before us have gone. And you know, like I remember the first crane that I climbed was in, it was in like an abandoned nuclear like warehouse facility, whatever. But I was with a band and they had rented the place out because there's like a caretaker and whatever, the city still owns it. So they rented it out for like 3 days to shoot music videos. And they called me and they were like, hey, we know you love abandoned shit. Will you come shoot behind the scenes for us? And also like, do you want to go explore this entire facility for 3 days? And I was like, when's the flight? Like, what do you mean? Like, I'll cancel everything, you know? So, and in this facility, there was like a crane and I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to send this crane. I don't know how I feel about it because same type of deal. Like I can't even lean over a railing at a mall because I'm like, this is gonna break. I'm gonna die. Like fuck this. For me, it's like my first job. I worked at a skydive drop zone in Dubai. I grew up there, and so I got to skydive like every day at sunset. It was like the thing. Like all the instructors would just do a jump together at sunset. And so like if there's a possibility of me like surviving falling off of a mall like second level and like being horrifically like maimed for the rest of my life, I'm afraid of it. But if I'm skydiving, like you're not gonna survive that, you know what I mean?
No,
so like
I
fuck
agree.
it, send it. So that was like my fear level and like the barrier that I had set for myself. So I was like, I'm gonna try this crane. So I climbed the crane, got on top of the cab, and I was like, yep, I'm good. I'm all good. Fuck this. You know, like cranes, not for me. Like rooftops, fucking love them. Love dangling my feet over the corner of a rooftop. No problem. Cranes, for some reason, I just can't. I don't know.
It's the wind.
It's gotta be. But maybe I just need to do more of them and like go with a group of people or like another person. Cause like when I did my crane climb, I was literally by myself and I was like, okay, well, this is all on me. And if anything happens, no one knows where the fuck I am in this place. Like I'm done. So I don't know. It's just like that mental barrier to like get past that. So I think it's cool that you were able to like actually get past that barrier. And now that you do like mostly like cranes and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know, I don't want to sound too egotistical, but I've done pretty much all the good shit in the UK for the past 3 months. But to be fair, there are way better people. I just don't think they're even interested in doing the stuff I'm doing because all the cranes in the UK right now are very short compared to what they were like last year. So I don't think anyone's going up to Manchester for that reason.
Right.
Like the tallest crane in like the UK a few months ago was like I think 230 something, and me and my friend are the only ones to do it to the top. So, but that's the thing. It was only 230, and in London, there's the tallest crane is normally like 280.
Sure.
People don't. I'm guessing that's the reason. Anyway, for the first crane I climbed, going back to that, my friend, she's fucking crazy. I remember, this is funny actually, a week before, I told myself, I'm never going to climb a crane. I'm never going to do it. It's not worth it. A week later, we infiltrate this like really small site and climb this crane. I'm going up the ladder and I'm fine because I've done a few cell towers at this point.
Sure.
And then I get to the top and I'm absolutely shitting myself. Like I'm like, oh my god, this wind's going to blow me off the edge. And then my friend, she, as I said, doesn't give a fuck. She just starts climbing the flat jib, sits on the top of it, and gets out sick. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh my god.
But yeah, and then we went to London, I think, literally like a week after that, bro. Like, as I said, we both got into it so quickly.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I love like going over there just in general. Like, you know, I was just over in the UK. I was in Manchester and then we went through Wales. I was acting in a music video, or sorry, not a music. I was acting in a film for my friend that is a musician.
Oh, that's cool.
But he plays in a band called Asking Alexandria, and he wanted to make like a feature film, and he hit up all of his musician friends and was like, "Hey, do you want to come be a part of this?" And I was like, "Fuck it, yeah, I'll come act in a movie. Sounds great." So it's cool walking around there. Like, you guys obviously have much older infrastructure, and architecture is totally different than it is here in the U.S. And so it's just interesting to see the way that the cities are laid out. And so I'm curious, like, for you, when you're infiltrating one of these buildings, like, are you pre-scoping stuff out, or are you just like full sending it?
So,
Like, what's the planning like for you guys?
So I'll normally have someone send me like a video of them walking around site, because obviously I don't live in these places, and then normally we'll go around it. I can tell just by looking at site what the best. I'm quite good at that. I can tell what the best ways to get in are.
Yeah.
But the things, I don't really want to give tips to people out there.
Sure.
But I look for a few things, and I can see where the best point to get in from is without SEC hearing me. Obviously, looking for cameras and sensors. I know where most companies will position them and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of scoping. We don't just turn up to a site and fucking send it over the fence. That's stupid. But the good videos where you'll hear security yelling at us, that just makes it more fun anyway.
Of course. Yeah, and I mean, for people listening that are like, "Oh man, just give us some tips." Like, it's not that he doesn't just want to not give you the tips, but he also doesn't want to tell all the security people that might be listening to this that he knows where their shit's at. Like, come on, guys, we got to think about this a little bit deeper. It's not just like about you; it's about the broader picture of things. He's trying to protect these locations as well.
It's about the kids that are being influenced by this kind of stuff. I mean, there are so many fucking influencers that are like literally uploading tutorials on how to get onto rooftops and like bridges and sites, like just for clout. There are loads of people that message me every single day asking me for tips. I don't normally give anyone tips, but normally I'll ask them, "How old are you?" And then if they say they're under 18, I automatically say, just stay away from it. It's not worth it.
Just don't do it.
Yeah, people see this shit on social media, and they'll be, "Oh, that's awesome. I want to do that." And then a month later, they won't even be interested in it. It's
either that, or they'll get hurt, and then like, it's like a whole thing. And I know out there you guys have like, subway surfing and the bus surfing, and like y'all doing some crazy shit out there.
Yeah, I don't know. Surfing in the UK isn't that popular. Surfing's definitely dangerous, but it's easy access. So
exactly. Yeah. I think it's it definitely popped up pretty hot in New York recently again.
Oh yeah, New York's like the home of it, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah. I think it's like where it started was Brooklyn. Like initially.
Probably Russia.
Well, yeah, true. They fucking that's probably a fact. And it made its way quickly over to the States because we got some crazy ass people out here too. But for you, like, when did you start documenting your climbs and things like that? Because I know some people just do it, no phones, just to experience it. But for me, like, as an explorer, like, I love capturing, because I do mostly abandoned shit. So I love capturing like the nature growing back through a building, because like it just shows you that like Earth will always prevail over humans and our trash and shit. So that's why I started documenting stuff. But for you, like, when did like the photography stuff come into play? When did you start capturing your climbs?
Like actual photography, I'd say like a month or two after, like very quickly.
Sure.
I was really interested in that part, and I've always loved creating content, like even before Urbex. So yeah, very quickly. But my Instagram is literally, to me, it's like an archive. I just create stuff that I like to look back at. I use audios I like, and other people watch, I guess. I try to create unique content,
Sure. Yeah, I think it's cool. And like for you, like, what gear are you kind of using to secure your stuff? And like what camera do you prefer to shoot on? Like, give me some gear inspo, if you will. I mean, gear breakdown.
My pictures actually, I don't know if you've seen, but they come out pretty good. I don't even have a camera. I have an iPhone 14 Pro. and it does the fucking job. And then I have a GoPro, but it's not even a GoPro. It's an off-budget GoPro.
That's sick.
It's like £90. It's really cheap.
That's sick.
Yeah, it does the job, to be fair. I might invest in one before summer, though, because we got a lot of stuff planned for them.
Hell yeah. They are pretty sick. We use them a lot just as like redundancy. So I film rocket launches at SpaceX because I'm a nerd. But
That's awesome.
we have a whole team that goes out there and we bring like, you know, we did one launch and we had like 24 GoPros out there. And we just obliterated all of them, obviously. Like rocket launches plus cameras just don't mix very well, but we were willing to like sacrifice them for the shots, and the shots were epic, of course, but like the capabilities that they have now with GoPros are just like, it's unbelievable. I'm just gassed on how fucking cool they are now, and you can shoot in like raw profiles, and like it's amazing.
GoPros are really great. Yeah.
They're so great, and they're so versatile, and you can drop them off a crane and they're going to be probably just fine.
I wouldn't fucking recommend it. But,
yeah, you know, I wouldn't recommend dropping anything off of anything that high ever.
The dog will go down and eat it.
Yeah, true. So I saw a photo series that you posted back from October of you on top of a wind turbine that is on. Please walk me through this. Because, like, you know, I live in the States and we've got a lot of flat land in the Midwest. And I just did a tour and, you know, we drove through a massive wind turbine field. And I was like, this shit's fucking crazy. And I was like, I know people climb on these things. And then I saw your photo and I was like, oh, my God, this motherfucker climbing on active ones, dude. Okay, so tell me what that experience was like.
Well, it wasn't a very... It was a really old wind turbine.
Great.
So if anyone knows anything about that means that it was shaking around like a motherfucker. Like, I'm not even joking. When I was standing, I was shaking at least a meter from left to right every second. Like, it was fucking horrible. It was like being in a washing machine. But the active ones are normally chill, but the short, you know, that was a pretty short wind turbine because it was the only one we could find that was, I don't want to say too much, but easy to get into.
Sure.
But yeah, obviously I live in the middle of nowhere, so there's nothing to do. I found some friends that wanted to do Urbex, and we sent a few things near us, and they were like, oh shit, that's a wind turbine, let's go do it. And yeah, that's how that story played out.
That's amazing.
The drone operator is a friend of mine.
Hell yeah. Gotta have one on the team, man. Listen, we just, as drone pilots, we come in clutch, dude. Those aerial views are totally killer.
So much better. I wish I had one for like any of the London crane missions.
Oh, true. Yeah, the London aerial stuff is pretty fucking crazy. Yeah. I was just watching a video, actually. It's like an expose on like female parkour athletes all over the UK and shit, and like even that's like, I grew up like loving parkour. I was so into it, and I was like, these people are fucking so athletic and talented, blah blah blah. And now that like a lot of them have like gone on to do urban exploring and cranes and like all this other stuff, because the athleticism kind of comes into play in both fields, you know, in both areas, and the safety, you know, like you gotta make sure you got your points all correct, and it's fascinating to watch, like, as somebody that lives in the States, like just what everyone's doing out in the UK, all across Europe. Like there's so many cool spots just because like that part of the world is so much older than America, and like your buildings are built differently. Like we build our shit out of fucking paper mache over here. It's bullshit, man. We have so much abandoned shit that's like 2 years old and it's already crumbling because like they made it with literal cardboard. It's insane. But I love exploring out your way, you know, like I love doing UK shit. And I got to do while I was in Wales, I got to explore an old it was like an old hotel, but it was on like a farm, and I guess at some point the farm had been taken over by like weed farmers, and so they like grew weed there illegally and like all this crazy shit. But I was like walking around there, and like the floor, I took one step and the floor just like gave way under me, and I was like, all right, we out here. We out here, dude. Not trying to fall through floors anymore, dude. That shit sucks.
Yeah. Dude, so, that's really dangerous.
It's so dangerous, dude. I mean, I love bandos. I love doing that stuff, but I mean, you get, you know, comfortable after doing so many and nothing happens, and then it takes one time. Takes one time, you're just chilling too much, and you go through a damn floor. God damn it. So, question. Have you ever gotten permission to explore a spot?
No, never.
Love it. I love it. He's like, no, fuck that. Oh my God, amazing. So I know you're relatively new to like the climbing game, but do you have any urban exploration injury stories?
As I said, I'm really careful, but for some of the towers I did when I was starting out, my skin was a lot weaker back then because I just had gym calluses. That's about it. I think my balance was a lot worse as well, and I was stepping on this fence and I slipped down. I had to grab this razor wire that I was trying to get over, and I got like a 1/2-inch cut in my hand. It was horrible, but I still climbed the tower after that. I didn't really notice it until the day after, to be honest with you.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh my God. Just grab some razor wire on the way down. No problem. It's fine. It's going to be fine. Oh my God. Okay, so take me into your scariest or your most intense exploration.
Oh, I've got a few stories.
Word,
I don't
let's
know. Okay, I'll top two, probably the most recent one, and then back to this. I don't know. Okay, I'll say this. For the tallest crane that we did in Manchester, we kind of got threatened. So obviously we're the only two to ever do it, and there's a reason for that. The entrance was fucking like ridiculous. I mean, no one would be able to find it. The stairwells were locked off, and we had to run past this. I don't even know how to explain it, but there was this small vent. I don't know how my friend found it, and he was able to get us up there. I don't know. Anyway, and then obviously I don't know if you've seen the video. It's got like 4 fucking million views. Of us crawling out a vent and then pulling ourselves up onto a beam and crossing to the crane. That's probably why no one else has done it. It's the sketchiest shit I've ever done. Sure. It was horrible. I don't know. Anyway, Jack posted that. It got 4 million views, blew up. The climb itself wasn't actually that bad. Besides that stunt, the jib was fine as well. But he got a message from a very dangerous person in Manchester, I guess, who's in charge of the security there. And we were both friends, be kidnapped and murdered.
Oh, for sure. What the fuck?
But then the most dangerous mission I've done is probably the most recent one, well, like craziest at least. We got to the site and we were already... Okay, do you know what injunctions are?
Yeah. It's
okay.
Like you're banned from like a area, right?
Okay, yeah, well, if you have an injunction on a construction site here, it's really hard to get. It costs a lot of money, but all the big sites have it.
Yeah.
But they only got it for a year, and they're literally about to put another one on. We had a really small window to climb this thing. If we wanted to post it, at least. I've done injunctions before. Actually, no, of course I've not. But this one, we had a small window where their injunction had just expired and they were waiting to get a new one. But we got up to the fence and we saw about 3 dogs or something, I can't remember. Like literally just waiting on the other side, and the guy didn't see us, but anyway, we decided to send it over, and we obviously dogs barking because someone made noise, and then 2 other people panicked. This was my friend that just started climbing, by the way. She's recovered from cancer, and she came to London with us.
Oh shit! Wow.
And climbed with us. She didn't hop the fence at this point though. Me, Cranesy, and Invectus, Urbex, hops the fence, start climbing up. I'm setting up the hoist. The security guard's yelling, "Stop! Get down! Get down! I'll call the police! Get down!" He's screaming for like 2 minutes, by the way. And Cranesy's had enough. He finally just goes, while we're climbing up the hoist. Do you know what a hoist is?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're climbing up the hoist and we're going to cross into the building, basically, because we don't know if the stairwells are locked or not. And he's had enough of the screaming. He goes, "Oi, just shut the fuck up!"
He just yells at the guy. No way, dude.
The Polish security guard goes, "Fuck who? Fuck me?"
That's amazing. Oh my god.
Yeah, and he says, "Yeah, shut the fuck up. You're doing my head in. Stop yapping."
Oh my my god. See, in the UK, I feel like you can get away with shit like that. Here, they would just start shooting at you. And they'd be like, oh yeah, fuck me? Okay, how about this, bitch?
He walked away, cool police. We got to the top of the hoist.
Oh my god.
And started crossing. We see the first police car and we're like, oh, okay, only one police car, that's not even that bad. We cross the building, we start climbing up. We look down. There are like 5 police cars and there's an ambulance. Okay, we'll just wait for them to leave, it's no biggie. Then we look over the side and my friend, she was looking through the gate, watching us go up because we got yelled at pretty quickly. She didn't have time to hop the fence. And the security guard, while we were going up, was talking to her and he was like, you're not with them, are you? And she's like, what? I'm just a girl, of course not, no. And she's been like, with the dogs or whatever, she's saying, I don't know, she's just getting them to like her.
Yeah, sure.
And he walks away, she hops the fence on her own and fucking goes up. The dogs obviously don't bite her, they're literally fucking,
they're
like, they licked
now.
her hand or some shit.
God. They like gave her a boost and shit. They're like, we got you, fam. Give us your bag.
She starts climbing up the hoist. We've already crossed into the building at this point, and she literally, the security guard's like, oh, for fuck's sake. It's so bad. And she climbs up this like 75 meters on her own, and she'd been out of hospital for like a week, by the way.
Homegirl is a badass.
Yeah.
Give her a goddamn cape.
I don't know, man. Anyway, she goes up, and at first we thought she was either police or another random Urbexer. Like, we thought she dipped after that or something. But we go down and we meet her, she tells us a story, whatever. And then because, you know, she's just climbed that in front of 5 police cars and an ambulance, we go back up to the roof, we look down, and to our horror we see 4 fire engines.
Oh, God.
6 ambulances, and like at least 20 police cars, 20 vans.
Oh, man.
Fucking insane. I've never seen that much police for anyone ever. Ever. I think it might have been because Cranes was a bit of a dickhead to the guy. He might have said potential terrorist or something.
Oh,
I don't know.
Fuck.
But no matter how long we waited, and by the way, you know what, I probably shouldn't say that. I don't want to give advice. No matter how long we waited, they were still there. So I just decided to send the crane in front of them. Didn't really care.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like, what are they're not going to come get you. Obviously,
they
haven't yet.
Up. They weren't going up. No.
Sure.
I think they thought that we were violent, potentially dangerous. I don't really know. But 2 ambulances are like this. I have to climb on the outside of this building and sort of scale it.
Yeah.
And then get onto the beam. And the beam, I've never seen a beam this long, ever. Nowhere. It's like 12 meters long. And I don't know, you've obviously never crossed a beam before, but
I have not.
There were a lot of things in the way that you had to hop over. It was horrible. And Cranes was like, yeah, no, I'm not fucking doing that, bro. Like, look, it was raining this whole time, by the way.
Of course it was.
He points at it and he's like, dude, that's literally icy. I'm not doing that shit. And I was thinking to myself, if I get caught, coming back here is going to be way worse.
True.
So I was like, I'm doing this. There's no chance. So I start going over it. It's really slippery because it's icy. And I don't know, I get to the end while Crazy's watching me and he's just like, bro, you are a fucking idiot. I start climbing the crane. It was wet as fuck, but I got to the top and I didn't hang. I don't know why. I didn't even think of it. But all I could think about was that it was 5:40 and I only had like 20 minutes before workers were going to arrive.
Oh.
So
and then you have a whole other problem.
Yeah, exactly. I did a leg hang and then took some flicks and went right back down. I got out of there as fast as possible. I crossed the beam. It wasn't bad on the way back, actually. I don't know, like, it stopped raining while I was climbing the crane, so I guess it was less slippery. I don't know.
Your feet had already, like, gotten most of the water.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we're going down, you know, listening out for potential police, like, see if they are actually coming up, because if they do think we're violent, they might have sent a SWAT team.
Right.
Like, I don't know. And we're going down, and Cranesy looks through the stairwell and sees a fucking canine dog off its leash.
Oh.
Off its leash.
Oh, God.
And the canine dog looks like he's just walking up the stairs, chill. He looks at him, looks back down, and starts fucking running up the stairwell to us. And he's like, bro, there's a fucking dog. Run, run, run. We run to the other stairwell. I don't know what happened. I guess it got lost. But we ran down like 10 flights of stairs. The security obviously knew where we were at this point. And we got down, and then we saw a fox. I was like, wait, you're actually stupid. It's not a canine, it's just a fox.
Oh,
and then we
my
hear
God.
it coming down again, and we keep running down, and then when we get to floor 2, we don't hear anything, so we start walking out. We've walked to this part of the site where we could easily hop a fence, and yeah, we waited because we saw police in the site, and we waited for them to go to a part of the site where they wouldn't see us. Like,
Sure.
we just stood still and they didn't see us somehow. We hopped it. I said bye to one of the workers on the way out. He was pretty chill. And yeah, called it a night.
Wow. And just got away unscathed.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, that's wild. And it's like, you're just the moment you dap each other up when you get out, and you're like, yeah, we got away with it. Fuck off.
That's exactly what I said. How the fuck have we got away with that?
Yeah, dude. It's when the cops are like surrounding you and shit, you're just like, okay, we have to get out of here, Like we got we got trapped by a cop in an abandoned jail of all places. Oh, the irony.
That's
We're
horrible.
already in a jail, so like what are you going to do? But there was one way in and one way out. Someone had like kicked a hole through a board or whatever, and this cop had like camped. He like pulled his SUV up and parked right in front of the fucking hole. And just camped there and didn't think we could see him. But we could see him out the fucking windows, just like tucked up against the building. We were like, okay, well, we have a couple hours, but I had like a thing that I had to go to. And I was like, yo, I got to get out of here. We have to figure this out. And we all had like skateboards with us because we were like skateboarding in the buildings and shit. And we found some rope somebody had left and ended up climbing down the back of the building through we wrapped the rope around some of the prison bars. And so we like shimmy down and like have to climb down this massive pipe and hid under some like old decommissioned cop cars, whatever. And then we had to climb up a fence with razor wire on the top, go over the razor wire, and then drop down on these train tracks with our skateboards, went around the building, like up like 2 blocks, and skateboarded back in front of the building to my car, which was literally parked out front. And the cop just like, he didn't get out of the car. He didn't question us. He probably just thought we were some random people skateboarding. And we like, the second we pulled away, I was like, how the fuck did
That's smart as fuck.
Dude, it's always like those moments when you're like, that's why we do this. Because like that moment you get away with it, you're like, yeah, we are fucking fireproof.
Have you ever been caught?
I've only been caught by like security guards. And like
okay.
here they have no power. They can't detain you. They
can't even like grab you or anything?
No, I mean some of them do, but like I've never personally been like strong-armed by a security guard. I usually, honestly, like I guess tip for everybody that I don't give a shit about talking about because I think I've talked about it plenty of times. I always just like hand them $50. They're making like $12 an hour. They're already having a shit day. So I just give them like $50 and I'm like, yo, is it cool if we like explore for like an hour or like, do you want us to leave? They'll usually let us keep exploring if I'm being honest.
That's fucking insane, bro. I'd
It's
take
wild.
the 50 if I was.
I'm saying, like, if I was working some like job I didn't want to do, like, I'd take the money and be like, I don't give a shit. Look the other way. As long as we're not like vandalizing shit or whatever, like, I'm just there to take photos, homie. Like, just let me explore. You know, the most they can do is call the cops. You know, like, so it's like,
Yeah, not
you know,
here.
yeah, here,
Security
yeah, where you're
doesn't give a
at, they're pretty gang-like. I feel.
Yeah, if you get caught by
They'll
set,
beat your brakes off.
I'm not joking, they will beat you up. They will.
Oh yeah, they'll beat
Like,
your
if
fucking
you're
brakes
at the wrong
off.
site and you see some Romanian guys. it's
Oh,
over.
well, yeah. I mean, come on now. They're ready to tussle, bro.
Yeah, any second canary. You don't want to fuck with.
You don't want to get popped off by a fucking Romanian guy in a construction site. They'll get you. That's because they're like private, like super private security to like mob level type shit over there.
Yeah.
They're on some other level, dude. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Out here, they're like, you know, just like they work for like the city. They're just Joe Schmo down at 7-Eleven, just being a security guard. All right, so thank you for sharing that story. I mean, I love hearing about escape, like the great escapes. You know, those are always my favorites. Has anything ever made you want to stop exploring? Like, have you ever had a situation where you're like, maybe I should take a second?
Honestly, because I obviously only climb every like month and a half because I have to travel pretty much every time.
Right.
The first day, I don't know why, but it just always feels like a chore.
Yeah.
Because I haven't climbed in a long time.
Sure.
But then the second day, I'm like, oh my god, I'm never quitting Urbex. It's weird.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think I see myself quitting in the next year, at least. But I'd definitely quit if one of my friends died, I think.
Yeah.
Out of respect.
Yeah, it happens, man. Like, it's I hate to say a part of the game, but I mean, that shit fucking happens, and it sucks when it does, you know. And in the Urbex community, we've had, you know, people fall through elevator shafts and off of roofs, and it's just fucking brutal, bro. But I mean, I personally, thankfully, haven't had anybody that I've lost doing it. But I think if I was with somebody and lost them while I was there, that would fucking fuck me up for sure, bro. Oof. R.I.P. to all those we have lost, though, for real. Like, y'all are real legends out here. What do you do when you're not exploring abandoned places, or rooftoping, or crane climbing? Like, what's your like normal life? Do you have like a normal job? Or,
I don't want to go.
Don't go too deep. Don't give me too many details. You're like, I work for the government.
I do fighting sports.
Sick. Word.
I do gym. And then most of my time I spend on just like trying to make money. Like,
word.
With online stuff, like. But yeah, Urbex is. I can't lie. I did way more stuff, but Urbex is sort of like I can't justify it being a good part of my life, you know. So I have to work harder when I'm not doing it to justify making time to do it.
That's me for sure, especially these days. Like, when I first got into it, I was like sending it like every week, you know, and now I'm like, okay, well, the older I get, first of all, the bigger the consequences are, and the farther I want to go to do it, like travel wise. So like flying to Europe, flying to Japan, like all these places I want to go, like shit's expensive, you know. So it's like if you want to do it right and be comfortable doing it, or while doing it, like you got to put the money out there. So you got to work twice as hard to do the fun stuff these days, and it just makes it more worth it when you can actually go do it. And I think people forget that are, you know, still on the weekly grind trying to do it, and like don't have like a career job, if you will. Like I feel like they're just, you know, good for them, cool, you get to explore a bunch, but like I also like making money a lot, and like I love what I do. I'm a videographer by trade. Like I get to tour with bands, I get to film for robotics companies and like cool shit. So it's like, you know, I like making money too and exploring. So if I can do both, sick. And if Urbex pays my bills one day, sick. Not banking on it, but we'll see what happens.
I don't care about making money from it. I'd like to try and find a way to make money to pay for travel, because I just want to go to other countries, you know what I mean?
Yep, yeah. I mean, I've done, you know, I got 2 photography books that I've made on urban exploring, and, you know, some shirts and random shit, merch, I guess, whatever. But, and that does help subsidize, like, paying for the travel stuff. And that's, anything more than that, like, that's a super win for me. And, like, I'm just stoked to be able to do it and have a creative outlet where I can, you know, make art and people enjoy that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Do you have any goal places, or like bucket list spots that you're dying to hit?
I can't say them.
No, it's all good.
But
I
have a lot, yeah.
Word,
a lot.
word.
I'll just say, I'll say the countries I want to go to. I want to go to China, Dubai. Mm-hmm. There's one country I definitely can't say because I'll give it away. But yeah, I want to explore a lot of Asia.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's where all the good shit is. And I definitely want to go to New York.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends out there that I'd love to meet. I definitely can't justify getting a plane ticket to New York though.
Yeah, that shit's wild right now. New York's crazy. It's cool. I got a couple friends up there that do roofs and cranes and stuff, and their photos are always so sick. And I'm like, damn, I want to do that. I did one rooftop in New York, and I was like, this is tight. Like, it's just different, dude. It just like the lights, the colors, like it's just a wild fucking place. Even from the ground, but when you're up on the roof, it's like the city actually gets so quiet when you're up there. It's like it's hard to explain if you haven't like experienced it, but it's definitely a magical place for like exploring. Yeah, I'm with you on the Asia stuff, dude. That's the spot. Like, and even over there, like there's a lot of like superstition around abandoned stuff, so they don't really fuck with you. They just kind of like leave you.
Yeah, I am worried about when I do go to China.
China's okay. That's a
People
whole.
do tell me that I'm gonna disappear if I go
That's a
there.
whole other place. Yeah, that's the CCP is. Yep, they are wild. But China's cool. Like I would also like to go explore China, but for now I think Japan might be the move for me personally, just because it seems a little bit less, fucking crazy as far as the kidnappings and disappearing stuff goes. I'm not really trying to go disappear somewhere. I'm trying to maybe live there for a while. But for you, like, what's the farthest you've traveled to go explore so far?
I'll say in miles. I think like 300.
Oh,
like
sick.
Not much. Remember, I only started
exactly.
like just over half a year ago.
Right.
So, but yeah, I went there because my mate paid for half my ticket. So
Sick.
I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah. Might as well. And I mean, 300 miles where you're at that's significant. People
I think
forget.
it's 400 actually. I'm not sure.
Like I think people forget how small the UK is compared to like the States. Like America's fucking gigantic,
tiny.
bro. It's insane. I just drove 400 miles like 2 days ago, like just casually.
Damn.
I mean, for real though, I was on tour for 10 days and we did, I don't even know, probably like 1,500 miles, 2,000 miles.
Yeah,
10
that's crazy. I mean,
wild.
like, take up that fucking. I went on a coach, and that shit took 14 or 15 hours.
Yeah.
It was horrible, dude.
Yeah. Dude, even like me taking the train from like, I don't even know where I was. I'd have to look at a map of the UK. But anyway, I took a 3-hour train ride back up to Manchester at the end of my time there. And I was like, God, this 3-hour train ride's fucking bored. There's nothing to look at. The fuck? There's just fucking nothing, bro. But it's all good. I do love the UK, mind you. It is awesome.
It's
Got a lot of homies out there.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing what you know about climbing and evading people and trying to be stealthy and things like that, how long do you think you would survive in the zombie apocalypse? Realistically speaking.
Realistically.
Yeah.
See, I think about this all the time. I have a girlfriend who's really into zombie shit.
Sick.
And we've spoken about this so many fucking times. I think I'd be good though. I'd go loot a place with a car, like a supermarket or something, get as much canned food as possible, and then just go to some random ass bunker.
That's the move.
Yeah.
Here in, we've got a bunch of the old like Nike missile silos that are like deep underground, right? Some of them you can fucking rent on Airbnb. I'm like, bro, I'm just going to go take over this dude's Nike missile silo and live in it forever. Fuck everyone. Bye. That's the move. That's what I'm doing.
A lot of cloutbacks reels with that place.
yeah. Yup, exactly. That's the way I'm going out, is in a bunker underground, locking myself in. See ya. So what is something you wish, or something that you know now that you wish you knew when you started all of this?
I just wish I didn't think it was that bad, I guess. Like, I told you, I thought it was so illegal. I was so terrified. So I really wanted to do it.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like our fear stops us from doing so many things in life, and I think the best things in life are on the other side of fear. And so I think it's rad that you kind of stepped past that and you were like, I might get fucking so arrested, but when you finally got into it, you were like, oh, it's not that deep. Like, it's going to be okay. I love it. For you, like, where do you draw the line on risk? Like, your risk management, like, what is there anything that you won't do? Like, any line that you're just like, I'm not fucking crossing this line? Or are you just, like, open to send anything?
I guess, like, I really want to climb a shard, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, bless.
But it's not really possible to do that without getting
Yeah.
caught. I mean, of course it is. You could get a parachute or some shit, but
I mean,
I
sure.
wouldn't be open to that risk unless the mission meant a lot to me.
Sure.
So yeah, I guess something that would definitely put me behind bars.
Right.
I guess that's where I draw the line.
That's fair. Do you have any good luck charms? Like, do you have anything that you, like, bring with you every time you go exploring? Like a same jacket or, like, a bracelet or anything like that? I think it's interesting because some explorers do have this kind of shit.
I have Invictus Urbex.
The homie.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Hey, I mean, that's a good luck charm right there. Fuck it. It's all the same. Word. So if people want to keep following you and your journey and your climbs and seeing where you go from here, let them know where they can find you online. And if you have any, like, photos that you sell or anything like that, now's the time to plug.
I'm not selling anything right now. I might do some kind of subscription thing soon, but yeah, obviously my Instagram and YouTube, RiptideUrbex's. That's about it though. Of course. Thanks, it was a good time.
Well, guys, that was my podcast with RiptideUrbex's. If you want to keep following his journey, please be sure to do so. He's got Instagram and YouTube. He might start doing a subscription service soon, so if you guys want to support him in that way, please do that so he can keep traveling and hitting these amazing places all over the UK and Europe and beyond. Like he said, he wants to do Asia and a bunch of spots in Asia, so definitely support what he's doing. He's really cool. He's got sick photography. He just uses his phone, man. It goes to show you that you don't need to spend thousands of dollars on an expensive-ass camera. You can just spend $1,000 on your phone, and then you got a cool-ass camera in there. Got to start somewhere, man. And yeah, it was really cool having him on the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I got to go rest my voice. I am coughing up a storm over here. Exhibit A. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the No Tracers podcast. I will talk to you guys with another guest next week. Be sure to come back, hit that subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys soon. Stay strong, keep enduring, go out, go explore something, and remember, leave no trace.